we have to talk Sixers. It's our job. Okay. I'm going to quickly point out one thing. The process Sixers got paid in free agency. Like, Rashawn Holmes, TJ McConnell, Nerlens Noel, Furk. 4 process Sixers. 55 mil, 35 mil, 32 mil, 15 mil. They got paid.
My biggest shock on there is Nerlens getting 32.
Me too. That's
a big-ass contract
the rest
for him.
are justified. The rest are justified.
TJ McConnell made a name for himself. Rashawn Holmes.
TJ McConnell was in the defensive.
Rashawn Holmes got paid. Like 4 years, $55 million. Come on.
I was just saying to Mike before the show that Rashawn Holmes is like on the back end of the top 10 centers in the league.
Yeah, dude. Nerlens
when I go through the list, I didn't go through it, but I'm just thinking he's right up there now because he worked on his defensive game too.
Stay 20 tuned.
So, but TJ McConnell was in the defensive player of the year voting. He was in there like in the top 5 somewhere, which is insane. It's amazing. So
he's back with Indy, right?
I just wanted to point that out because we're talking free agency. So, but on to the Sixers. We have a lot to unwrap here. Try to keep it, a little succinct, brief. But the Sixers are shopping Tobias Harris, supposedly. I think it might have been me. I might have mentioned that I wouldn't rule out them possibly trading him. It might have been 2 shows ago. The Sixers signed Andre Drummond. They brought back Furk, like I just said. They lose Dwight Howard. They waived George Hill.
We wouldn't have needed Andre Drummond if we kept Tony Bradley. But we traded him for somebody that we waived, who I've been saying was washed and stinks. So.
And then they signed Georges Niang to a 2-year deal. And they supposedly were in contact with Danny Green, but they're nowhere near a deal. What the hell's going on with the Sixers?
Dude, I saw a thing on Twitter where it said that they could potentially sign and trade Danny Green to the Lakers for Dennis Schroeder.
Wait, what?
One more time, Nick.
I read that on Twitter today.
Give that to us one more time.
I read on Twitter today that the Sixers could potentially sign and trade Danny Green to the Lakers for Dennis Schroeder.
I would like it.
Oh.
I don't want Danny Green back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want him
real?
back.
Yeah, I read that. I don't know how true it is. It was coming from Vin the Insider, and he caps a lot. But it's like, so I wouldn't actually hate that, to be honest. I really would not hate that, depending on what the deal is. But so, I read that today. I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how true that is, but it's something to just keep an eye on if that really does happen.
I'll be honest, I'm worried about Embiid's future with the team. I think he's got to be pissed off with their moves. Honestly, I think the Sixers got worse. Everybody else around them got better. They just haven't improved, man. And I don't know if he still wants to play with Ben Simmons.
I don't trust. I got news for you. In a 7-game series right now, you be hard pressed to tell me that that the Bulls wouldn't give them a run for their money.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm not going there yet, Mike.
I am, dude. I do, dude.
Yeah, I don't know who could stop Embiid on that team.
Well, here, before we unwrap the Tobias stuff, Nick just said something about Embiid being pissed. Embiid tweeted something like, "What's going on?" which we could have interpreted in many ways. What do you think he meant by that? Was he just talking free agency because it's been crazy, or was he cryptically talking about the Sixers?
No, he was talking about the Sixers because everybody's saying the same thing. What the fuck is happening?
I was saying the same shit. They didn't get better. You are on the brink of the Eastern Conference Finals, and you didn't get better at all. You got worse.
That's exactly
losing Dwight is a big problem. He brings energy and he's a rim protector. I loved Dwight on the Sixers.
I know, dude.
They got worse.
I wasn't sure that they were going to get another Dwight type like that, like Drummond either. I thought they were going to go and try and get a guy that could play out a little bit too, like more of an Embiid type.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine an offense round by Ben Simmons with Andre Drummond at center? I mean, Christ!
I don't really love Andre Drummond, but I like him in this particular case. This contract, sure, fine.
That's what I mean.
He'll get boards, and he's a nice spot starter.
He'll be able to help Embiid when Embiid goes down for a couple games here and there.
The only way all of this is justified is if the Sixers get Damian Lillard. It is the only way I would be happy with what they did.
Big shit.
That is the only thing. Get Ben the fuck out of here and replace him with Damian Lillard.
Pack your shit.
I would love him.
Okay, so Nick,
It would be justified. They haven't done anything, though.
Since you said that, I'm going to jump us a little bit. I'll bring us back to Tobias in a second because I don't even know if there is any
takers for Tobias.
I can't think of any players off the top of my head who would possibly be able to be swapped for him. Like, can we at least say that? What do you guys think we could get for him, actually, here, before I push this forward?
I really don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I don't even really want to trade Tobias.
Because I think he's going to be difficult to trade because of the contract, but at least he was very valuable this season. And
I like Tobias,
I think that a team that's trying to unload some cap or not, sorry, let me rephrase. They're not opposed to having cap added on and maybe dumping a bunch of role players for one guy who's, higher tier. I think that it would make sense for a team like that now after he's redeemed his value. Because the argument with the Sixers right now that everyone's talking about, I mean, obviously, yes, you want that high-end guy like Dame or Bradley Beal. But the other argument that I'm hearing very often is why not trade Ben and or Tobias and get a bunch of really good role players, like guys who are like legit starter types, not just the guys that come off the bench, like legit starter types, and get a series of them and fit them around Embiid, but then you're missing top tier talent.
Yeah, I'm not for that, dude.
It's not Dame or bust.
Yeah,
I'm not for that either. I just want to see what you guys think of that, because that's
the same
thing. That we're hearing some rumblings about that.
Yeah,
and I wonder what Daryl Morey's thinking. Like maybe he does that with Tobias, not Ben. I don't think he's going to do that with Ben.
Well, to me, it's the same thing though. Like with the Warriors trade, like I don't want 4 first-round picks, James Wiseman and Andrew Wiggins.
Oh, and that's another thing is apparently they were kicking tires with the Warriors again.
Yeah,
and they're really motivated to make a deal. But if there's no Steph Curry in there, like, no.
Yeah.
Hell no. Emphatically no.
Yeah, dude.
Again, they're gonna waste Embiid's prime. They are gonna trash his career. It's so sad. He's probably one of the best players in the league,
right,
and we are not going to maximize his potential. And it's sad. They need to get Damian Lillard, and that's the bottom line. That is the only way all of this shit is justified.
So let me bring us to that point now, Nick, okay? I have to point out something that's interesting. The Sixers added Phil Beckner as a consultant to the coaching staff, the team confirmed. Beckner is expected to assist the coaching staff in several areas. He is a former assistant coach at Weber State, longtime trainer for none other than Damian Lillard. What? And he still trains him to this day. They're still together, those two.
Come to Philly,
and
baby.
He's known for player development.
Come on.
So, does this mean anything to you guys?
It should. It should. Absolutely.
I think it does.
I think it does too.
I'm with you, Nick. I think this means something. This is like, hey, I'm trying to tempt Dame to say, I want out. Because that's all he needs to do. If he says, I want out, the Sixers are getting him. They're the clear favorites to get him.
I think they're cooking up something.
There's no other team that can offer Portland what the Sixers can right now, especially after the draft has passed and free agency is pretty much full steam ahead. That's fair to say. I don't care what Mike says about Mike Simmons. Jesus Christ.
Look at you. I'm so proud of you. That's what I'm talking about.
Drilled it in his head.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I actually just said Bike Simmons, if we're being correct. But, Mike, what do you think? Does it mean something to you?
I mean, here's the thing. When I first read it, I started giggling because I'm like, holy shit, are they really going to do this? That was the first thing that came to my head. But it's hard, man. I don't want to look too into it because I'm going to get my hopes up and then I'm going to be even more miserable. But
okay.
I
Hold on. You're going to give more credence to a cryptic photo last week of Damian Lillard and Ben Simmons's fucked up haircut.
Dude. That was weird. Yeah,
right?
Talk.
Right? But you're not going to give any credence to this?
He went to skills.
Yeah, let me tell you guys what I think. Let me tell you what I think happened. You guys saw...
fucking trash.
Yo, let me tell you what I think happened, though, for real. Like, you guys saw the picture of Embiid and Daryl Morey playing tennis, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think happened there. They're like, Daryl was like, watch what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
I'm about to get Dame's guy. I'm about to tempt him. I actually think that's what happened because it happened right after I saw that photo.
I saw a trade.
I think that's what happened.
I read this on Twitter today.
I believe it now. I believe it.
Right when I got here,
Go ahead.
I told you this trade. I read a 3-team trade is being cooked up between Portland, the Warriors, and the Sixers. Warriors get Ben Simmons. Sixers get Damian Lillard and Draymond Green.
Ooh.
Portland gets Maxey, Poole, Wiseman, and 3 first-round picks.
I'm doing that in a second.
Dude, I was laughing when I saw it, and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
No
But I'm like,
chance.
but as I was reading it, I'm like, man, that would be so nice.
I didn't even have to think about that.
That would be so nice.
How would we get Dame and Draymond?
That would be
It's like
amazing.
basically we're replacing Ben's defense.
That's how I would be, though, to be
And
honest.
we're
If
getting
I'm the
Damian
Sixers,
Lillard.
I'm not trading Ben Simmons for James Wiseman
No,
and Andrew
I wouldn't
Wiggins.
hesitate.
I'm happy you said that, Mike. Thank God. I was worried about you.
Yo, I keep it.
For real. I'm worried about you.
That's
I was worried about you.
Wait a minute.
Fucking
So,
crazy.
no,
He at
and
least realizes Ben is better than James Wiseman. Oh, hallelujah. Thank God.
I just keep
Thank
it.
God.
I keep it real with Ben Simmons, dude. I talk the hard truth about him, but that's a little far.
Thank God you said that.
That's a little
That I might have walked out on. For
far.
real.
No. I will
don't
never
wanna
go
walk
to
out
that
on
level.
you guys ever, okay? I'm not trying to do that. I'm not going to pull a mic.
Some of the shit you say, it might have to happen 1 or 2 more times in here.
Bro,
all I'm
I'm
saying.
keeping it real. I'm keeping it real.
Keeping it 100.
He's a homer.
God. That is the one comment that I said I might walk out on. That's your warning. We have a lot left. Hey, listen. I got to tell the audience this real quick. There's a ton of content this week. For supposedly a dead period, this was a crazy week. So this show is carrying on a little bit longer than the last 2. It's not going to typically be like this. I'm just putting that out there because there's a lot of shit to dive into. We're not done yet. Okay?
Yeah, and I just also want to tell everybody also, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Please don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We would greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. We were missing that. Yeah, one other thing, though.
That's my
I mean,
shit.
we weren't going to go deep into the NBA draft. I do have to point out one thing about the Sixers. Jaden Springer was an expected lottery pick by most people, and we got him at 28. Darryl knows what he's doing in the draft, and EB for that matter. I mean, he got Matisse Thybulle, so I like what they're doing in the drafts. Maxey, Thybulle, and Jaden Springer, who looks like he's going to be a solid 2-way player and in the rotation right away.
They say his ceiling is high.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, that is definitely an upgrade for the roster.
It's a great pick.
Have to point that out. I mean, the only other thing I was going to mention about the draft was the top 4, I think, was just stunning. I think we said that briefly last week, but I wasn't going to go deep into the draft besides what the Sixers did. I just can't believe Scottie Barnes was picked at 4 and Jalen Suggs falls to the Magic.
And
It's
they lost Kyle Lowry. Like, you lost a guard.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy why you wouldn't want Jalen Suggs.
I know.
That's literally he's a quarterback. Like this guy is extremely athletic, and he's tough. I mean, it just makes me think of Kyle Lowry, right?
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm not saying they're the same player. I'm just thinking like, hey, this is like a guy that your fans will enjoy. I don't know shit about Scottie Barnes, really, so I'm not going to say anything about him, but I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But, I mean, do you guys have anything else to add on the Sixers before I push us to the Phillies?
I just hope they got something cooking up because they can't stay as currently constructed. They absolutely cannot because right now they are worse than they were last year.
Yeah, and
that's
everybody
a
else
problem.
got better.
Yeah, like better and like really much
Like
better.
significantly better.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. So it's like it's just they have to improve. Like something has to be cooking.
Yeah, it's just Dame or bust. That's the bottom line. That's where I stand. And
Yeah.
And I told you guys I have to say it one more time, but I've been on record already saying this. I think that they've been waiting for Dame and Beal. That's it. I think that's what they're doing. They're putting all the chips in that basket. One of the two coming available, and we keep hearing the rumors. So maybe Darryl was right. I'm not selling Ben Simmons for pennies on the dollar. He's 25 with 4 years left on his deal. You can call me a homer all you want. Okay? 3-time All-Star.
And not for nothing, Portland didn't get better, and he wanted them to get better, and
also,
they didn't.
Not for nothing, the Sixers without Ben Simmons, look at what they were before Ben Simmons was a Sixer. This team has been successful. They have disappointed plenty. And Ben Simmons leaves a lot to be desired. He should be much more than what he is right now. But he's still one of the better players in this league. And I don't care what Mike says. I don't care.
The whole beginning part of that was fantastic, and then you had to add in.
And you want to know what else I'm going to add? I'm going to add in one more thing, and you forget this now, but a long time ago, this is a month ago, 2 months ago, we were talking about top 25 players in the league. This is before our top 25 debate, including Paul George and yada, yada, yada. But Mike was on record.
We need to find that footage. Phil, I need this.
No, he's in denial now. He's in denial.
No, I totally
Mike,
forget.
I even referenced this.
earlier.
I think it was 2 weeks. I think it was on 2 or 3 shows ago. I even said it during the show, and you were agreeing with me, but you're like, oh, how he's fallen kind of thing. But Ben Simmons is a fringe top 25 player even after all of this year's shit.
I agree.
But here's the thing. I'm not saying that's true. He's around 25.
I
He's
just want
just
to make
booty.
sure you remember his value.
I do. But
I'm
however,
not selling him for nothing, and neither is Daryl Morey. I have to remind you this. That doesn't make me a homer. Nick said the same thing.
I agree with it. They have to get an all-star. They have to. How are they going to compete in the East?
I'm willing to gamble
gotta
on
get an
Ben
all-star. They
Simmons
have
if
to
they
get
don't
some
get
point.
either of those two.
Oh, by the way,
I want
did you
Dame,
see?
though, for real.
Did you see what Ben's Instagram story of him shooting again? I'm not buying that shit. I ain't buying that
Nick was
shit.
like,
Pack
nope,
your
no
shit.
bounce.
You ain't selling me on that shit no more. I'm
I've
done with
seen
it.
the same
Yep.
video for 4 years.
You're watching the same movie. Fam, I don't want him.
I just want to know that he wants to do that in a game.
That
I
same.
know.
It looks great. We
does.
all said it looked
It
great,
does.
Ben. Just do it in a fucking game.
However, it could actually increase his trade value. It could. Because teams could be like, wow, yo, he's actually shooting. But I'm not buying that
think
shit.
he has-
Let somebody else buy it,
and
not
let
me.
Like, one more thing. I think he has the trade value. I think that we just have a major price tag on him. It's a massive price tag.
We had a delusional price
He
tag on him.
has trade value, though.
Yeah.
To that crowd, you guys are fucking nuts. Saying he's got no trade value. Shut the fuck up with that shit.
I never said that. I never
No,
said
I
that.
didn't say you.
Oh,
I'm saying,
I was
I'm
going to
talking
say,
to the
yeah.
Sixers fans who are saying that shit. Now you just need to shut up.
But it's going.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
It's diving. They got to move quick.
It fell a little bit.
They
Look,
got to move quick. It's only going to get worse.
Everyone thinks about recency. I'm thinking forward. Recency bias
Well, here's the thing.
rules this league.
The problem is, if we look forward, he's just been trending downward.
I think he's just been like this. Plateau.
Yeah, that's when you get rid of him. Bottom line, he ain't getting better.
Well, guess what?
Yeah, he peaked already. It's shameful, man.
We'll see. We'll see. He's 25, and let me remind you that Magic Johnson couldn't shoot at 25 either.
Magic Johnson also led his team to the finals at age 21.
Magic
the final
Johnson also
MVP.
had a much better team.
Magic Johnson also tried to shoot.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But at least I'm just saying because he's compared to him. He's
got
like
you.
Magic Jr.
Also fucking
You know,
delusional.
Yeah, that's
LeBron
Comparing him
also.
to Magic Johnson.
Everyone always said, "Oh, he's Little King," right?
It was Fresh Prince and
Right.
King.
So LeBron wasn't exactly a great shooter at 25 either. I just want to put that out there. But
He
LeBron is
attempted.
a whole different mold.
Yeah.
Like LeBron was doing shit that nobody did at 25.
TBD. Fam.
Agreed. Agreed.
Pause. Oh, Christ.